Hello, welcome to the video notes for lesson 6.3. This lesson is about multiplying binomials. The learning target is I can multiply binomials. Pretty straightforward. This begins on page 7 in your notes packet. You'll notice I've already started, so go ahead and please pause the video and copy this down. Once you have all this copied down, then you can hit play and follow along. So, there's 3 strategies here. And they are, when we're multiplying binomials, one strategy is using what's called an area model. Another is called double distribute, and the third is called FOIL. Okay? Now, I just want to show you what they look like. I'm not going to explain it in this first part. The area model is basically a box. We draw a rectangle, and we treat the 2 binomials like a length and a width. And we find the area. Length times width it gives you the area. So I'm going to, since it's a binomial, I'm going to cut the length in half, not perfectly, and then the width in half. And I have my x. Actually, let me use a different color for this so you can see what I'm doing. So I have this length of this part of the length, this distance here is x, and then I've got my +3 or +3. And up here, the width, I'm going to call this x also, and then this will be my -7. All right, and then I find the area of all these different parts. And I'm going to explain it more in just a little bit. And then I combine them, and my final answer ends up being x squared minus 4x minus 21. Okay, so that's the area model. Double distribute looks like this. And again, I'll explain what it means in just a little bit. But basically, since we have 2 binomials, I'm going to do the distributive property twice, double it. So it's going to look like this. And when I'm done, I end up with a final answer of x squared minus 7x plus 6. And then lastly is FOIL. Each letter stands for something, and later on in this video I'll tell you exactly what. But it gives you an order of doing essentially the distributive property that will allow you to come up with the answer every time. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to do this. And that's what it looks like when you're done. And when you do FOIL, again, I know what the answer is, but I can actually still do it in my head because I know what it looks like. I end up with x squared plus 10x plus 25. So if you notice, I multiplied 2 binomials together, and in all 3 cases I got a trinomial for an answer. That's not always going to happen, but it does for these. All right, so let x equal 4 and substitute it into the original expression and your solution. Are they equal? All right, so we're going to use this space below to test and make sure that it worked. On this side, we're going to have the factored form. And just a little thing to help you remember. Factored, I sometimes think of it as spelled with a PH, because that's another way to get the F sound. And the P helps you to remember that we're dealing with factored form. It should be in parentheses. So the first equation we had was x plus 3 and x minus 7. I'm sorry, not equation. The first pair of binomials, or the first expression. Draw a line down the middle here, and then we also have what's known as expanded form, and that was the trinomial that I got for an answer after I multiplied the two binomials, x squared minus 4x minus 21. So I'm going to substitute 4 in for x, and if I did my expanding correctly, these two answers should be the same. So watch what happens. So I substitute 4 in for x, 4 plus 3, x, and oops, not x, and 4 minus 7. So I'll do this, and I'll do this at the same step. 4 plus 3 is 7. 4 minus 7 is negative 3. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. So I'm looking to get negative 21 over here. So I have 4 to the second power minus 4 times 4 minus 21. 4 to the second power is 16 minus 4 times 4 is 16 minus 21. Oops, not 20, 21. 16 minus 16 is 0. 0 minus 21 is negative 21. And look at that. They are the same. Okay, so let's take a look at how to do these different strategies so you can do this on your own. Okay, over on the next page, so page 8, we have the area models are already set up for us. And what we have are, essentially, like I said, we think of it as our length and our width. So over on this side is our length, our x plus 3. Now because this is a positive 3, I don't put the plus sign in there. But for the x minus 7, I treat the minus 7 as a negative 7. Now to find the area of this part of the rectangle or the box, the length, which is here, times the width, which is here, is x times x, or x squared. Now, to find this area, I'm multiplying the length, which is here, x, times the width, which is negative 7, negative 7x. Now I'll come down here, switch the colors up, length, which is 3, times this width, which is x, 3x. And then this one here, length, which is 3, times width, which is negative 7, negative 21. Now, some of you may notice we have some like terms right here and here. So you can combine those either in your head, or it probably makes more sense to write it all out. So I've got x squared. It doesn't matter what comes next, either minus 7x or plus 3x, whichever one, so I'll do minus 7x. This is a positive 3x, so plus 3x, and then minus 21. Combine your like terms, negative 7x plus 3x is negative 4x. And there's your answer. Okay, so let's try the next one. So x times x, x squared. Negative 1 times x, negative x, or negative 1x. Negative 6 times x, negative 6x. Negative 6 times negative 1 is positive 6. Alright, so I've got x squared minus x minus 6x plus 6. One thing that I might do is I typically go in order from left to right, top to bottom. So that's why I ended up, even in the problem up above, going x squared, then minus x, then minus 6x, and then plus 6. In other words, if you just get in the habit of always doing these in the same order, you will hopefully never make any careless mistakes. And then we get x squared, negative x minus 6x is negative 7x plus 6. Alright, make sure you put a box around your answer. Here's what I'm going to have you do. I want you to try this last one on your own. So we can skip ahead to page 9. And on page 9, we have the other two strategies. So the distributive method twice. I wish I didn't have this here already for you. So let's go ahead and write it out. So you've got x plus 3 times x minus 7. Basically what you do is take this first binomial and break it apart. And it's two parts. We have x and we have plus 3. Then in parentheses, you put the other binomial, all of it. And then you do your double distributing. Now watch what happens. X times x is x squared. X times negative 7, negative 7x. Positive 3 times x is positive 3x. And positive 3 times negative 7, negative 21. Combine like terms, x squared minus 4x minus 21. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Alright? And then the last strategy is called FOIL. This is very old school. You might even be able to find some parents who remember this. Again, I kind of wish this wasn't written out for you, but let me talk about what it stands for. F stands for first, meaning the first term in each binomial. So go ahead and copy what I write here. Basically, it's going to be this times this. So draw a nice little arc from x to x. O stands for outer. So I go to the outer two terms. So x is on the outer edge of this, and negative 7 is in the outer edge of the other one, outside, if you will. So x times negative 7. I stands for inside. So if x and negative 7 are the outer terms, the inner or inside terms are 3 and x. And then last, the last term in each binomial, and it looks like this. Now, whenever I do FOIL, because I kind of draw this up the same way every time, I don't even really think of it as first, outer, inner, last anymore. I just know that I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And then I write out what I'm doing. X times x, x squared. X times negative 7, negative 7x. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times negative 7, negative 21. Then we got to combine all these. So it's x squared minus 7x plus 3x minus 21. Use the sign as your math operation, either adding or subtracting. Combine like terms, x squared minus 4x minus 21. And you are done. Alright, that's it for this video. There was one problem for you to try on your own. I'll give you a point for every 2 people that actually try it. So hopefully that'll be everyone, because it should be. If you are confused about any of this, make sure you come and see me or rewatch the video. Good luck, and we will see you in math.